All right, hello everyone. This is DayTraderRockStar with a market update for Tuesday, May 11th. And again, we just came off the weekend, expecting, going into the weekend actually, expecting the worst and seeing the Sunday night futures open up. I was actually doing my watch list Sunday night, watching the futures take off, but seeing this morning a tremendous gap up in the markets and something that was, you couldn't really, count on this. You couldn't be looking for such a big, explosive move early this morning going into Friday. That's for sure. So, again, if you did have a game plan, the gap kind of takes you out of the early morning game plan. You just have to let things play out there. It kind of gets a little dangerous. The When you have so much buying like this, usually you see the market hold up pretty good. It just has this underlying pressure in it. But in this situation, you're wondering, and I guess a lot of people are wondering, what is the deal with the overall markets? Because we went into this crash with major concerns about Greece and the euro, and then we had the oil spill, and there was a whole bunch of events that were leading to this pullback, and the pullback seemed like it was a nice, perfectly timed pullback that the market needed. But now seeing this rebound and a possibility of a further push tomorrow, man, that is going to put a major hurting on the people who think this market's going to head down. Because, I mean, this is definitely a short covering rally. It has a lot to do with shorts in this market who are thinking the world is coming to an end. They got caught. Definitely got caught today. And, if people are shorting into this, there's a good chance if we break Thursday's highs, we could see, who knows what we're going to see. Right now, everything is setting up for a further push up. We had a nice positive crossover on stochastics. We had an unbelievable day on the 5-minute chart. You could actually see we held near the highs. We only pulled back to the 50-period moving average, never gave that up, and actually rallied into the last half an hour of the day and closed pretty strong. So tomorrow we have the possibility, and a good possibility, of a further move up. And so we're just going to break down the stocks. I went into this week actually not really planning on buying any type of buy triggers, because I knew that the market was gapping up on Sunday. When I was going doing my research, I said, well, so the last thing I want to do is buy into a gap. And most likely, I would say 80% of the stocks that if you would have bought right at the open or within the first 15 minutes, unless you caught a fast scalp, you'd be either grinding back down slowly throughout the whole day and just waiting all day. So to now going into tomorrow, things should free up a little. We'll definitely have a range. This range really wasn't much to talk about, because we never really saw any technical levels broken or actually made. But now that we could see, if we go on a 15-minute chart, you can see we're right under the 200-period moving average. The stochastics is still very bullish here, and I would like to see a further push up here tomorrow. That would be a great thing. I'm not gonna call it a sure thing, but would definitely like to see a further push above today's highs, and I think that would give us something. So let's take a look at some stocks right now. We went into the week looking at a core group of stocks, featuring some of these stocks on the core group with DELL. I just want to go into some of just review some of the moves. And again, as the market gapped up, so did most of these stocks, and they gradually pulled back here. But going into that, the reason we're looking at that, I was saying, all right, we're starting to see some of these patterns show up. This is on a 15-minute chart, and you can see the inverted head and shoulders pattern forming there. And you can't do anything about the gap now. We gapped right up against the 200. We pulled back. I still want this one to set up, but again, these last 3 days are very volatile. You can't really look at just buying that opening gap there. So we're going to let things shape up on all these stocks. The AKS stock that I liked, pulling back to this trend line again, kind of a little flush down, push back up, but we're pushing right back up on this trend line, and there's actually even a better 15-minute chart here now. And again, this one also holding right at the 200-period moving average. And I would actually go hard and put a buy trigger in on this one. So we're going to call this one 1650 would be a buy trigger, 1650 on AKS. And that would probably get me in more on that. So we're going to do good on that one. Again, you can see the inverted head and shoulders on the 15-minute chart here also. So there's that definite neckline and the 200 all setting up. We break that, we should get a pretty decent explosion on the stock for a cheap stock and a stock that doesn't move much. It is set up here. Intel, can't go wrong. The Intel, this is one of the stocks I was buying hand over fist. Is it hand over foot? Anyway, buying it on Thursday, on Friday, and it paid off very nicely today. And it looks to continue tomorrow. Everything's setting up here. Imagine we didn't have this this Thursday smackdown in the markets. You would be buying Intel here. The only thing that I guess people were worried about is continued turmoil in the markets or in the European nations and stuff. So, but this looks really good. Tomorrow they have Intel has their analyst day, and that should bode well for Intel. So again, looking for Intel to get right back up above $23. At that point, I might take profits on the ones I've been buying down here. So at that point, we'll see how far we get tomorrow, and then I would probably again look for further consolidation and upside. I definitely think this one has the best chance of moving right back up towards that 24 level. DSX, Dyna Shipping, great setup on the stochastics, nice bounce. We got back in on this one today, and it looks good. Look for a continuation move on this. Again, just based on a pullback here. You can't really see the smackdown on Thursday on this because on Friday we actually headed down lower, but the stochastics are set up. Everything's set up on that DSX. Actually, you can see probably on the 15-minute and the 16-minute, a little better pattern starting to set up also. So, you know, again, this one gapped up, consolidated. I can't see much here. You know, again, tomorrow, going into the rest of the week, we should really clear up on our trades. Here is one that I didn't really mention today, but I do have that position, and I love that position here, is Berkshire Hathaway B shares. All right. Picked up shares an average of 77.16. All right. And at that point, you know, we got flushed, picked up a little bit more, and then on Friday we got flushed even further. We almost pulled back to the 200-period moving average. But we closed pretty strong, and the quality of the stock and stuff, you know, I was very confident that we were going to hold here. Stochastic was set up. We had a beautiful bounce on today, on Monday, and we continued to hold near the highs of the day and pushed right at the highs of the day. And I would expect this one finally, at this point, to break out of this gradual pullback and get a follow through, and everything's set up for a nice move tomorrow on BRK, comma B, or the B shares on that. CVX, another great stock with the opportunity of a lifetime, probably on the flush down here, now bouncing up. I'm going to look for some further upside on this one. Again, a lot of these stocks just got whipped around here, whipped around. Some other stocks I want to just look at tomorrow. We're going to look at, again, if I would put on a focus list to add to some stocks, I definitely want to add to the Berkshire. I want to look at Monsanto, continue to watch for that strength. Walgreens is another one, which I will throw up the chart here. And Walgreens gives us a nice 60-minute chart. You could actually see, there we go, this little pivot area here. This is where the market popped up, reversed, sold off, and now we're coming back up. So this is a main area here. We get above this pivot area on Walgreens. That's a very bullish area right there. So a high, which is going to give us, that's going to be right around, I don't even have the thing here, hold on, 36.45. So that's WAG, 36.45. And again, that's a very bullish area we break through. That's called a pivot area. And a pivot area is where the market spikes higher, makes new highs, but then reverses and makes new lows. So that reversal off of that pivot area becomes very, very important. So we get back above that level. It's very bullish. Yeah, and I think there's a good chance of doing that. All right, so that's enough for the update going into tomorrow. The S&P, again, set up for a further push higher. We'll see what happens. It'll be amazing if we get a push above Thursday's highs. And 15-minute chart. Again, we're consolidating right underneath the 200 period moving average there. Definitely could see a little, this area down here becomes that base or that head, and this becomes your shoulder over here. This becomes your other shoulder, and this neckline and the 200 period moving average lining up. That's what you want to see. So tomorrow, very interesting day. See you in the markets. DayTraderRadio.com. This is DayTraderRockStar signing off.